You pride yourself in being able to fly under the radar, to quietly work behind the scenes without drawing attention to yourself. In fact, that's your favorite thing to do or your preference. You enjoy hiding and doing you, checking things off on your list and taking care of business until you're caught red-handed with your hand in the proverbial cookie jar, getting stuff done, making things happen, and inadvertently leading colleagues, cohorts, and/or peers along the way. Suddenly, the spotlight is on you. You feel the heat of the intensity of the light as well as the new attention your every move is being paid. The jig is up. Your inner leader has shown itself yet again, and consequently, everyone wants something from you. Damn those expectations. My name is Jennifer Mitchell Early. I help individuals and teams achieve organizational and personal success, and this is Leadership Matters. Growing up, my mother would always say, "The cream always rises to the top." This idiom or common phrase means a good person or idea can't go unnoticed for long, just as cream poured in coffee or tea eventually rises to the top. For many years, and sometimes even now, I've tried to hide. I've tucked myself away in the darkest, most remote corner, figuratively, where I can exist and perform in relative peace. However, it's not long before my talents, work ethic, abilities, capabilities, authenticity, and influence give me away by proving to spotlight me in every case and scenario. I know I'm not alone. Many of you have tried to do the same and, like me, have been caught red-handed being an exceptional individual contributor as well as a team leader. The jig is up, you've been caught, and now everyone has a good idea of what you're capable of. Now what do you do? In the Penn State University Leadership blog article, The Importance of Emergent Leadership by James E. Kelly, emergent leadership is described as occurring when others perceive someone as most influential among the group. The leader acquires a role by others supporting his or her behavior and influence. Group members perceive and accept the leader's direction as desirable and appropriate. This acceptance is communicated among the group dynamic. Simply stated, an emergent leader is someone who naturally becomes the leader of the group. Emergent leaders gain status and respect through engagement with the group and its task and are turned to by others as a resource when leadership is needed, and often play an important role when a designated leader unexpectedly leaves. So what do you do when you're an emergent leader that is a reluctant emergent leader? You're reluctant to emerge. First, determine what about leadership turns you off. Is it fear of failure, extra responsibilities, or increased expectations? In the Harvard Business Review article, Why Capable People Are Reluctant to Lead by Chen Zhang, Jennifer D. Narang, Susan J. Ashford, and D. Scott DeRue, individuals cited behaviors such as resentment, competition, blame, aggression, and pushiness as reasons why they're reluctant with stepping up to lead. It's fairly common to see someone choose not to lead, whether it's a capable coworker who passes up an opportunity to guide a team project, or a manager who, when confronted with a challenging situation, simply waits for things to happen instead of taking charge. The authors interviewed and surveyed more than 100 working adults, asking them to describe times when they had considered stepping up to lead but didn't end up doing so. They conducted a field study following more than 400 MBA students working on consulting projects and teams in which they assessed team members' perceptions of the risk associated with leadership and surveyed approximately 300 managers and their employees, asking about the risks they associated with leadership, as well as their assessments of their colleagues' leadership capabilities. Based on this research, they found that there are 3 specific types of perceived risks that deter people from stepping up to lead. 1, interpersonal risk. The first concern people mentioned over and over again was that acts of leadership might hurt their relationships with their colleagues. For example, when asked why they were hesitant to step up to lead, one respondent explained that sometimes you don't want to risk that friendship and hurt other people's feelings. Another said they were afraid that if they stepped up, other people could start to dislike you and talk about you behind your back. The fear of leadership harming interpersonal relationships was one of the most consistent themes they found throughout their studies. 2. Image risk. The second common concern people described was that leading might make others think badly of them. For example, one respondent said they were reluctant to lead because I don't want to seem like I know it all. Similarly, another interviewee worried that it can come across as a little bit aggressive, maybe to the rest of the team members. Despite the fact that both organizations and employees generally claim to admire leadership, people worry that actually engaging in leadership acts might make them look bad in the eyes of their peers. 3. Risk of being blamed. Finally, the authors found that many people were afraid that if they stepped up to lead, they would be held personally responsible if the group failed. They worried that they would be blamed for the collective failure, and that could cost them a coveted promotion or future leadership opportunity. As one respondent explained, if I were to dictate the work, then the potential bad results could be pinned on me. Another respondent expressed a similar sentiment, stating, if the project we were working on did not go well, as the leader, I would be blamed. Fear of being associated with and blamed for failure is a powerful deterrent that keeps people from taking on opportunities to lead. You can embrace and honor your inner leader by mitigating these risks. Identify lower stakes opportunities, such as routine projects with less visibility or an internal exploratory initiative with less significant consequences to test out your leadership skills. In this way, you can exercise your leadership muscles in a relatively safe scenario or environment. You can try out different approaches to leading, reflect on what works for you, see how others react to your leadership efforts, and make any necessary adjustments without worrying that your career is on the line. As you build confidence and hone your leadership skills, you'll be more prepared and comfortable when taking on higher risk opportunities without fear of failure. Everyone emphasizes the importance of leadership and the rewards that come along with it. But we also need to acknowledge the risky side of stepping up to lead. Leading others is and has always been challenging. Leaders have the inherently alienating task of balancing conflicting interests of the worker and the corporation, as well as fears of forfeited work-life balance. So it's no wonder there are more people who dislike being in charge than people who like it. Nicole Torres, author of the Harvard Business Review article, "Most People Don't Want to Be Managers," admonishes that people choosing not to rise through the ranks and lead don't necessarily reflect a lack of ambition. Rather, today's workers don't have to be a manager or leader to be successful. They don't even need to take up a traditional career, since for many, the corporate ladder doesn't even exist anymore, as organizations have become flatter and options for moving up more limited. If you found this video valuable, please hit the like button as well as the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload new content. See you in my next video.